So we like to ride our bicycle, we like to ride our bike, we also like to get healed, and oh, I did not cut this out, and I was supposed to. Oh well, I don't think we've seen the inside of a Pokemon Center yet in this LP, so I think now is about as good of a time as we're ever going to get. Welcome to the Pokemon Center! You're going to be seeing the inside of these quite a lot. Basically, they heal your Pokemon for free, if you don't already know that. So yeah. So, Pokemon get free healthcare, but normals people don't. Hint, hint. Yeah, my political statements don't need to be taken seriously, by the way. Well, okay, so now, Wally's dad's really happy that we made him a better person, even though we really didn't. All we did was make sure that... Wait, what did we do for Wally? All we did was go with him while he catched a Pokemon. He did it all by himself. If anything, he should be giving that to Norman. Oh, well, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. So now we've got the Surf TM. I'm going to say this right now. Surf is one of the most useful moves in the entire game. Now, we're teaching it to our slaves so that we can have a Pokemon who knows Surf, because we don't have a Water type yet, but we will be getting one soon. Hint, hint. But, yeah, Surf, it's basically the Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Psychic, Earthquake of the Water types. It's been one of the best moves for a long time, and it's just really, really useful. You should not have a team without Surf on it, because it's just a necessary move, especially when it's given to you early in the game. Around this early, most other Pokemon don't have Flamethrower or Thunderbolt at this point, so it's about that point where you should start using standard moves. So yes, now we're going through this old familiar territory, and remember this water that we couldn't get past? Oh yeah, well, guess what? You can surf on it. And yes, that's my lag in action. It's still that bad. And oh, remember this useless pathway that we went down? Yeah, it has a use after all. It's a nice, helpful shortcut so you don't have to go through a really long chain of surfing. Though we're going to be surfing a lot in this game. One problem with Ruby and Sapphire that I just generally have is that there's too much water. Just way too much water. You spend too much time surfing, and it's just ridiculous. Nearly half of the map is water. So I randomly run around looking for an item that I don't find. But even though I had a repel on, I saw this Pokemon, and oh, it's a Tentacool. Now, you'll be seeing lots of Tentacools as you swim aimlessly around the ocean. But one good thing that you should know about Tentacool is that it's actually a pretty decent Pokemon. It's a very good special wall. And seeing as we don't have a Generation 1 or 2 representative in our team right now, I thought it would be a good idea to use Tentacool, because it's pitifully underused. Granted, it was more useful in Gen 1, where its special attack was just as good as its special defense, but it can learn Mirror Coat, I think, by breeding, and it's just a good Pokemon to have, since its special attack isn't horrible. It's just a good Pokemon. I recommend it. Especially when you luck out like me and get one at this high of a level. So yeah, that's another thing that's weird about surfing too. When you're surfing, the Pokemon levels tend to fluctuate a little bit. Like, you'll see Pokemon that are level 15, and then you'll see stuff that's like level 36, and it's like, whoa! But yeah, Great Ball, go! Doop, doop, doop. Da 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 da. Now, I originally planned to catch a Carvanha in this for this spot, and that's why I was talking so much about how awesome Carvanha was. But I figured I'd just use a Tentacool instead. And I had originally decided to name my Carvanha Dunderhead because it looks like something really angry. But I then realized that this Tentacool is a girl. So, Mitch, I love you, but you're a chick now. You're gonna have to deal with it. Oh yeah, Dunderhead, pretty awesome. He's made fun of me before, but he makes fun of everyone, so it's okay. So yes, now we're back in Mawile City. Normally we'd be heading to the right and going across that surf patch that we saw before. But, oh look, it's Watson. So basically what he tells you there is that you need to go to New Mawile, it's not even like a city, it's just an electrical plant below the city, and you have to go in there and turn the generator off. So pretty much it's Ruby's and Sapphire's attempt at replicating the... Oh, crap. I forgot to cut this out, too. That was me just starting a new recording session. Sorry about that. Now you know how I record my videos. But anyway, yeah, that was just... that the new Mawile is Ruby and Sapphire's attempt at recreating the power plant from the first game. And I didn't really like the power plant in the first game. It was another unnecessary dungeon. So yeah, this area's gimmick is that there are switches that you need to press, and that's how you get through the area. It's a relatively simple puzzle. The only thing that makes it really irritating is that wild Pokemon show up every 5 seconds. Yeah, so don't press that button like I did. I'm just gonna say right now, you're going to be bombarded by wild Zubats. Not Zubats. That's how accustomed I am to wild Zubats. You'll be bombarded by wild Magnemites and Voltorbs here. You might see an occasional Magneton, but don't get your hopes up. Now, Voltorb and Magnemite, I should say, are not the best Pokemon out there. You know, they're relatively decent, but that's about it. Magnemite suffers from a crippling quad weakness to ground-type moves. And Voltorb is really fast, but that's about it. And as you can see, I've already had to jump cut like 10 times. That's how irritating this is. I'm pretty sure that walking gives you less encounters, but it's still annoying. Oh yeah, and watch out for these. Some of these pickups are actually Voltorbs. This is something that's been going on since first gen. These things look like Pokeballs, so you pick them up and, well, they're not. I have to admit, it was a relatively clever thing for the time, but now it's not so much. So yeah, they're really not that big of a deal, especially if you've got a ground type with you like I do. They've got weak defense, so just wail on them with physical moves, and you should be fine. That's really all I have to say. There are quite a few good amount of goodies in this area, so if you like goodies, then you should probably check it out. But otherwise, it's a relatively unconsequential area. You do get a pretty useful TM for going through it from Watson, which we'll get to later, but other than that, there's really nothing that you need to see. Oh yes, that Pokeball on that blue switch right there, that is indeed a Voltorb. So watch out for that. I'm only showing these battles because they could be mandatory depending on whether or not you have the right switches pressed down at the time. And as you can see, even though I was trying to level grind off these things, they can whittle down your health after a while, so be careful. It's nothing that you should be too troubled with, and there are always repels at this point, so you should have a good stock of them. The only reason I'm running into so many wild Pokemon is because I'm choosing to fight them. I needed to level up Pokeboy and Donut Man here. Yeah, it made editing a living hell, but whatever. And so, yes, as you can see, I'm just switching out. We're kind of a little bit underleveled, but there are some good parts. There are a lot of trainers coming up soon, so we'll be fighting them, and we'll get some experience. Yes, so guess what happens when you examine this Pokeball? Yep, it's another Voltorb! Yay! Maybe I should be starting a Voltorb count. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'm really sorry about not updating this LP, guys. For a while, it was just me being lazy. I'll admit that. From like August to September, it was just me being lazy. But then when September started, school started. And when school started, all of my extracurricular stuff started. So on top of trying to keep my grades up and trying to stay committed to my stuff, you know, YouTube had to take kind of a back seat. And since this is my main YouTube project right now, this had to take kind of a back seat. Updates might still be slow, but they'll be coming. I'll be releasing them as soon as they're done being made. And I do have another project working in the back burner, so you can look forward to that too. Yeah, so as you can see, I was bombarded by Pokemon near the end. So just step on that switch, and this annoying side quest is done. Yeah, so of course I had to run into one more. Now, this is why it's a good idea to have a Pokemon with Dig in your party. See, I don't have to deal with using an escape rope or paying for it. I can just go to my Pokemon, select Pokeboy, well actually it's Donut Man, select Donut Man, select Dig, and move out. So that's basically what happens when you use Dig. I don't know how digging can get you out of a metal complex, but whatever, I'm not complaining. And this is why Teleport is a useful move to have on your team. So yes, you go to the last Pokemon Center you used, and so I jump cut out of that one, of course. So now we're talking back to Watson, and he's glad that we did it, but it was elementary, my dear. And we got the Thunderbolt TM. It's a very useful TM. It's like Surf, but for electric types. I recommend having it. And, well, that's about it. We'll be going on to probably at least up to the 6th gym next time. So, this has been ExandShadow, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye now.